90% of people buy Bitcoin for the wrong reasons. I know this may sound like a hot take, but if you pay attention to the reasons people claim to be what took them to buy Bitcoin, and you compare that with what the data actually shows that are the true reasons they bought Bitcoin, it's very clear that people very rarely know why they are buying Bitcoin. And for this to be clearer and for this to make sense, we need to first look at the most common reasons to buy Bitcoin. And there are 4 common reasons. The first one is FOMO, fear of missing out. Those are people that buy Bitcoin simply because they're afraid of missing out on what is a potential good opportunity or great opportunity, okay? The second reason is get rich quick. Those are people that believe that by buying Bitcoin, they can get rich fast. Those are the kind of people that think that in 3, 4, or 10 years, they will become millionaire based off their $100 purchase of Bitcoin. The third reason is inflation/digital gold. Those are the people that believe that the fiat currency is bound to go to zero, is losing purchasing power. So by buying Bitcoin, they have an asset that will protect them against the inevitable inflation of fiat currencies. The fourth reason is for technological or philosophical reasons. Those are people that don't see a monetary value in Bitcoin. Rather, they see a technological or a philosophical goal with having Bitcoin. For example, those are the kind of people that believe that money is a form of control, and if you don't have control over your money, you are surrendering control to somebody else. For example, a government or an establishment, the traditional financial system, and so on. Now, why should you care about the why? Why you need to have a why, a reason to buy Bitcoin? The problem is, if you don't have a reason to buy Bitcoin, this will affect the type of outcome you will have with Bitcoin. Why? One of the reasons is if you are buying Bitcoin one of the reasons is that if you are buying Bitcoin just for the sake of buying it, you will likely sell it a wrong time or hold it in the wrong way. As I said here, your why determines your outcome. Here we can see this graph. People that buy Bitcoin without having a reason to buy Bitcoin will likely sell the dip. Those are the kind of people that sell Bitcoin when the prices are going down, and they usually come back buying Bitcoin when the prices spike up. And this is a huge problem because these kind of people in the long run will tend to lose money. And you need to understand, and there's even a quote that I took from Morgan Housel's book, The Psychology of Money, where he says that good investing is not necessarily about making good decisions. It's about consistently not screwing up. People that have a reason to buy Bitcoin, a well-established reason, will make less mistakes than people that simply look at the price of Bitcoin and decide to buy. Don't buy Bitcoin because you saw some influencer tell you that Bitcoin will 10x in 6 months, in 1 year, in 10 years. You need to understand what are the underlying foundations, what are the fundamentals of Bitcoin, to then see if, according to your own personal views or according to the data, to the metrics, it makes sense to hold Bitcoin or not. Don't simply buy because someone told you that Bitcoin reached an all-time high. Now, since there are many reasons to buy Bitcoin, a question that may arise is, how do we find valid reasons to buy Bitcoin? Because I put 4 reasons there to buy Bitcoin, but I wouldn't get to the point of telling you that those are the only reasons to buy Bitcoin. There are multiple reasons, and you need to figure out a reason that fits your own personal views. And how you do that? Here I'm going to share 3 questions that may help you make that decision. The first question is, what could make me sell everything? This question is about portfolio size, about allocation and risk management tool. Here is Since Bitcoin is a volatile asset and its prices can go up 30% at the same time that it can go down 30%, sometimes even doing so in a couple of days or even in a day. So you need to know, is there a particular event with Bitcoin or in my life that would force me to sell my Bitcoins? If you say, if thing X happened with me, I would be forced to sell my Bitcoins, then you need to invest an amount that you would be willing to not sell regardless of the situation. That's the first point. This is one of the best ways to manage your risk. And if you have very clear how much or which percentage, which size of your portfolio should be in Bitcoin, then it's easier to sleep without having to worry about Bitcoin prices. Those are one of the things that I criticize most about people that look at Bitcoin prices daily. If you are looking at Bitcoin prices daily, have no doubt you are making a mistake. There's no doubt that you don't have a good risk management. So you need to constantly be checking whether it's spiking or whether it's having a dip or something close to that. The second question is, how much can I lose without life impact? This is directly correlated with the first question. Here is, if I lost all of my Bitcoin, if I lost all my Bitcoins, that would affect my lifestyle or not? If the answer is yes, then you're probably misallocated. Having money in Bitcoin should make you feel safer, more protected, and also have a potential of financial gain over the long run, and not being something that you worry whether or not will affect the type of thing you can do, the goods and services you can access in the future. So at the end of the day is this: all money you make from your work, from your investments, from Bitcoin, from whatever, it will be used to access goods or services or for protection, for safety, things like that. So if the type of volatility that comes with Bitcoin or the potential future, a negative future, for example, will impair your ability to do those things, to retire, to travel, to, I don't know, for healthcare, and so on and so forth, you need to reduce your allocation. The third is, do I understand do I own? What does that mean? It means that above all, you need to understand what is and what Bitcoin isn't. I know this can be very difficult, especially online where people are trying to create their narratives, their stories, trying to manipulate people to buy more or buy less, and that's a messy place to be in. However, if you're going to put any amount of money into Bitcoin, the minimal requirement is that you study what you're about to put your money in. Your money is valuable, so you shouldn't put your money in things you don't understand. And understanding Bitcoin comes in a few ways. It means understanding the framework of Bitcoin. And to understand the framework of Bitcoin, it means understand what Bitcoin is, what's the proposed thesis of Bitcoin, what the possible future can be, what is hype, what is truth, and all that. And in this channel, I want to make videos creating interesting mental maps where we can explore different facets, different things about Bitcoin. So if you're willing and if you enjoyed some of this video, you can subscribe, because here I will be making videos that I promise will help you understand Bitcoin more and more every day. And one last note comes from Socrates, which is, to know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. So at the end of the day, all you do in life, all you do regarding investments or whatever, need to have an ingrained sense self-awareness. Do not care about people's opinions. Don't pay too much attention to people calling you an idiot or whatever for the allocation you have or you don't have. If you don't know something, you don't invest in it, regardless of what anyone says. If an investment seems good but goes against your personal values, goes against who you are, your views, then why would you buy it? That's basically purchasing a headache for yourself, and that doesn't make any sense. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe, and I see you on the next one.